Good morning, Lisa here. I am finishing last week's food topic, and I'm just gonna finish doing this real quick because there's another topic I want to go over, which is really interesting too. Um, I ran across so many different articles on food on the internet, and it's just amazing. I might come back to this at some other time, but today I just want to finish a little bit on it today. Uh, this is what they call diets. I see so many diet forms of food. To me, I would think of it as a way of eating. Maybe I guess diet is a good way of putting all these different diets that there are out there. So this one, because it's biblical, I decided to go with this one because I'm walking the path of Christianity, and that's the way I want to stay. So I am going by biblical diet. And the type of foods that can be eaten, according to what I have that I see here, it continues not with just the land animals, the fowls, and the what was the other one? I lost the little list I had the other day, and I don't know what I do with them. Of course, I'll probably find them when I don't need them, but I might come back to this at a later time, so hopefully I'll find them and I can use those again. But then again, the long list of the foods I gave you last week, you can rewatch that. I might have to rewatch it and rewrite everything down too. So this goes on to tell us the other things that we can eat. That is starts with grains, which is barley, corn, millet, oat, rice, rye, and wheat. And I love rye bread. I will make a sauce just for my rye bread because I love the way it tastes. And you dip it in a sauce that you can make. It's great. It makes a great snack. Actually, it's not as fattening. Anything you use should be really, really actually no salt. The only salt I do use is sea salt. It's supposed to be better for the body, and I put that in everything I eat. Not a whole bunch of it, but just regular salt. I'm just not as afraid of it as I was with regular salt that gives you high blood pressure. So I will use that and Mrs. Dash because it has great seasoning on it too. Seeds would be sunflower, sesame, flax, pumpkin, and I love those seeds. Now sunflower seeds I'll put in my salads. Pumpkin seeds is a great snack. Flax, I will make a drink of fruits, sweet fruits, and add some flax powder to it, so that way you get your flax. Sesame actually is good. I get that on buns. You see that a lot on hamburger buns. So that's pretty tasty as well. Lingonmaise, which is soybeans, lentils, peas, peanuts, and other beans. And I like beans, pork and beans, pinto beans, which you find in Chile. I think they use different types of beans in Chile, actually. I actually eat black beans are good. If you have the right ingredients, you can make a black bean burger, which actually it's not bad. It's a taste you can get used to. But if you decide that you want to go vegetarian, it's something you might want to get used to. It actually isn't bad, depending on how you make it and the condiments they use with it in the mixture. Well, a different story. That'd be like a cook show, huh? Okay. Succulent foods containing seed. Interesting. Bell peppers, cucumbers, eggplant, green beans, melons, okra, pumpkins, squash, and tomatoes. All those have seeds in them, and they are actually all quite good. I'm okay with every last one of those. Perfect stuff to put in a salad. That's a salad right there. Just all those. Well, pumpkins, I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever had that in the salad. No, can't say that. Okay. Melons either. Melons, I think they refer to like cantaloupe and watermelon. Okay, now fruits would be citrus fruits such as lemon and limes, palm fruits like pineapple, and then sweet fruits. Any other fruit is good as long as they're not sugar-fied. Because usually, if you buy them in the can, they have so much sugar in them. No good. Can't have it. Uh, my suggestion was just get the regular fruits. Orange. I love oranges. Now, orange juice I won't drink because it's You might find maybe 2% orange in orange juice, but yet you get an orange, peel it, eat it, 100% orange. So I rather go just the fresh fruit myself. Nuts, good one. I love nuts. Almond, Brazil nuts, cashew nuts, pecans, and walnuts. I have a bag of walnuts that I will snack on, high in omega-3, like fish is as well. And it's a great snack, especially at nighttime, because I tend to get really, really hungry at night. So I will eat some walnuts, just a handful, not the whole bag. And it actually will kill your appetite. You know, it will fill you up. It's really cool. I love it. Nuts as far as like peanut butter. I love peanut butter. I will have a peanut butter and jelly. Make sure your jelly is less sodium and, well, anything you eat has to be so less sodium and sugar because that's where all this comes from. So I'm working on it. Herbs. Love my herbs. Vegetables, otherwise known. Beet greens. I'm not familiar with that. I have to check it out. Brussels sprouts. Uh, can't remember last time I've ever had that, tried it, eaten it. I'll have to try it. Cabbage, collards, globe artichoke, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, beets, potatoes, turnips. Potatoes I love. Do not overkill yourself eating potatoes because it's high in cholesterol and starch. So eat it moderately. You know what would be good is buy the small red ones, and then you can have one or two of those at a time, and then you'll learn to eat less and less, and you won't eat as many. So it's really good that way. Turnips I'm not familiar with, but sounds good. Anything as far as vegetables, I try to eat a lot of green vegetables. Green, green, green. Okay, now livestock, fish, and birds, the fowls, that all the list that I gave you last week. This is actually a very short stack from what they show you here. And the last one, ew, but I'll go over that with you. The livestock, I don't believe I told you cow, but it is on this list. So cow, if it is grass-fed, if the animals you eat are vegetarians, then they're good for you to eat because they are considered organic that way. So if they didn't grow up eating grass, just grass, good healthy stuff instead of all whatever it is that they do. I'm not even sure anymore. But it does list cow, deer, lamb, caribou, buffalo, elk, goat, and moose. Okay, so I've not tried a lot of those as I mentioned last week. Fish, great big fish list that I gave you last week, and I'm gonna re-go over those. In fact, you know what I did? I made me like a permanent grocery list shopping and everything I could that I gave you last week. Put it down on what things that I was familiar with. I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy these things that's on there, and that would help because then that way you'll get in the habit and just buy all these things that's on the list and it'd be super, super awesome. Okay, the fish, bass, bluefish, crappie, perch, pike, salmon, sunfish, trout are the ones that they give here. So I put a few of these on my list that I will only buy. Birds, they put chicken, turkey, pheasant, grouse, and quail. Now I actually downloaded some pictures of pheasant, grouse, and quail. Don't know if I want to try those. I guess if I see them in the store, but I guess I never will because I decided to go vegetarian. But who knows? I might try it just to try it. Who knows? Okay, but the last one, if is you get makes my hair stand up. There's insects. Ew. And they have locusts, crickets, and grasshoppers. And now I've heard of people eating these chocolate dipped uh, roaches. Ew. It's just gross. If you want to try that, I'll power to you. Good for you. Okay. And, it just, there's so many things, I guess, from nowadays that I guess they didn't realize in biblical times that were the same that they could eat. So I'm not sure how they do the research in the Holy Scriptures, but it's amazing. They actually have lists of prohibit foods, which kind of, to me, a little bit contradicts the permitted foods, but it will tell you here that you can't have pastas, breads, sugars, potatoes, corn, beans, and legumes, which it just told us it could. And then it goes on to say, although the people on the diet consumed foods containing carbohydrates, they were of high quality and less processed. So there are exceptions to the rule. So since I decided to go vegetarian, I am going to keep with my margarine as long as it's very low in salt and sugar, if any in there. If it's mixed with food, it probably will give it better flavor anyways. Cereal. I'm going to stick with my cereal. Now I'm going over some of these foods. It says it's prohibited, but since, because it'll tell you, it'll say it restricts meat such as pork, bacon, ostrich, ham, sausages, emu, and imitation meat. Okay, the only imitation meat that I eat, well actually two imitation meats that I eat will be imitation bacon bits and imitation crab. So since we can't really have crab because it's kind of like a ground seafood like lobster and oyster and mussels, we can't really eat that. So to me, I think imitation would be healthier anyways. Same with imitation bacon bits. I think it's just made out of other stuff. I have to get the ingredients on that. Now here it also states that nuts and seeds, such as honey roasted nuts or seeds dried or roasted in oil, are prohibited. Now oil, I'm pretty sure we can have only canola oil. And I didn't think about looking that up when I saw that. I totally forgot. The list just goes on and on and on. It's just, wow. You could do this forever as far as food is concerned. Beverages prohibited would be as alcohol, fruit juices, which I mentioned earlier because they're so high in sugar that I won't do. Sodas, I haven't drank soda in a good 6 months. I finally got off of that. Caffeine, I don't do except for tea. And it's only because I went to a convenience store. I was out of tea, so I need to go to a regular grocery store and give me the decaf because I don't like caffeinated stuff anymore either. Chlorinated tap water and pre-ground commercial coffee. Well, you know what? I like my decaf coffee. It's good. So, I guess this would be good if I'm still eating the meat to go by all these prohibited foods as well. But since I'm going, I'm going to have to do some more research on some of this prohibited foods because I'm pretty sure the Bible will list some of these as edible for us. So we'll finish that and see what happens on that. So I'm going to quickly get rid of this, put this back in my little Bible study folder. So I'm going to get a folder and take notes. That's what I do. When I read about as far as to end the diet in the Bible, in Genesis actually speaks of the original diet as everyone being vegetarian anyways. The ideal diet would be fruits, nuts, grains, legumes, legumes, and herbs. And that's it. And, there's just so many different things that when you go shopping and you buy these things, make sure it's certified humane, organic, anything of that matter. It probably will cost a little more, but you know what? I'd rather pay more money to be healthy than just go the wrong way and not take care of myself anymore. Because you got to remember, our bodies are temples of the Lord, and He paid for our bodies at a price. So let's take care of our bodies a lot more because it would be just a win-win for us if we did it that way. Okay. So with that, we are going to now go to hair. Hair. I've been seeing studies that I've been doing on hair. I don't know why it came to my mind. Uh, I actually was surprised by it. My hair actually recently was like on here. It was real long, and I got so overheated uh, that I actually just chopped it all off, and it was actually about this much shorter, and it grew because I cut it too short. But I got so frustrated and so overheated. Long hair is apparently it's what we're supposed to have. Females, women are supposed to have long hair, which I never knew until I started coming across this. And I came across, if you want to go with me, to First Corinthians 11. So let's go to First Corinthians 11:14. Actually, this is going to be First Corinthians 11:14 and 15. That it speaks of long hair. And I never realized that women are supposed to have long hair. We're not to have short hair because it is a dishonor to us as the Lord. Okay? So, no. Okay, I'm in a whole different chapter. Oh, I got there. Just don't know about me sometimes. So silly. Okay, here we go. Now this actually goes way back. Actually, it starts with 1 Corinthians 11:4. 4 through 15. We're going to start with verse 4. So it starts saying, every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonor his head. And it's speaking of men. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one as if she were shaven. So if you're not going to keep your head long and uncovered, then you might as well have a bald head, shave it off, because that's what it's meaning. If the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. I'll have to look up that word shorn. Let's see what it says. Shorn, shorn, shorn. Shorn. Let her be shorn. If her head is uncovered. Shorn. Hope it's in here. Shorn, shorn, shorn. You know, although those Bibles so old, worn, and torn, I love it. I can't help it. It's going to get even more old, worn, and torn because I love studying with this Bible. Shorn. H-O-R-N. No, no, it's not in here. Ah. Oh, vegetables. Okay, so I can't tell you what shorn actually means, but I don't think it's necessarily nice. Okay, so, for if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. So either way, cover your head. That's what it's telling you. Okay, now for a man, we're on 7. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, forasmuch as he is the image and glory of God. But the woman is the glory of the man. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. So going on to verse 9. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. Now that's awesome. I kind of like that. See, so in order for us to have power of the angels, we need to be covered. because then it is an honor. All right, going on to verse 12, no, number 11. Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord. So as long as the man and the woman is together and her head is covered, we are in the Lord. For as the woman is of the man, even so is the man also by the woman, but all things of God. Pretty much the same as 11. 13. Judging yourselves. It is commonly that a woman pray unto God uncovered. So it's asking, should you be uncovered and pray? No. Doeth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him? Now, I remember when I was growing up and all the men had long hair, called them hippies, little child, and, and the women actually had short hair, so I don't know, it just got so twisted around back in the day, didn't it? But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her. Is that awesome or what? We are glorified with our long hair. For her hair is given her for a covering. So, now going back on this, uncovered. So we have to have, it does tell you, to have long hair is a covering for our head, and yet our hair has to be covered as well. So long hair and covered. And for me, personally, I think I tend to get really hot wearing a hat. So I think that might have been how it kind of got over it. People are justifying it and say, well, I'm really hot. It's okay. I can go for a minute without a hat. But no, and if we should live by the laws of the Holy Scriptures and walk the path, because it's not knowing the path or memorizing the path, it's walking the path, hello, then we need to go by this. And if a hat is too hot, like it tends to be for me actually quite a bit, then I need to start wearing it. And if I can't wear a hat, because it does say your hair has to be covered anyway, so wear a scarf. Remember back in the day, and they used to put a scarf and they tie it, like back in the 50s, so that'll work. It doesn't say it has to be fully covered. So why don't we try? I mean, even if, I wear a bandana a lot and it's tied up here, it looks really cute. Is that considered covered? As long as there's something on your head, it's considered covered. That's what it tells me. So I'm going to try and be like that always and forever and go that route. Now, another one that we're going to make. Okay, this little phone is just going haywire on me, so, but I did write down another one we're going to go to is First Timothy. And I'll tell you what, I looked up here. Oh, I just lost it. Oh, here it is. Hair. I looked up hair, and it doesn't speak of having long hair. Those were the only two verses, or the first, what was that, 6 verses of long hair, that men are not to have long hair, women are to have long hair. This one, I looked up hair, and it speaks of hair, like on the animals and like that, speaking that, First Timothy 2:9. Oh, good one. Now, First Corinthians, no, we just did that one. Also speaks of Matthew 10:30 of every single hair on your head is numbered. I mean, I could imagine. Okay, I would like to know exactly how many hairs are on my head. That'd be interesting to know. But only God knows, and that's fine with me. So we're going to go to this one, First Timothy 2:9. You've got to go to this with me because I found this one interesting as well. First Timothy. Silly. First Timothy. Oh, Okay, 2:9. Okay, here we go. Now this speaks about how women are actually supposed to be the rust. Funny how that is, huh? So we're gonna way over there because it's so interesting. For this one. Okay. Now, 2. Now, to title 4. Now this goes on to actually speaks of being we are to continue in faith through charity and holiness with sobriety. So we are actually tells you right there we shouldn't be drinking alcohol anyways. Now 2:9 speaks about women that are urged to modesty in dress and behavior. Okay, so verse 9 says, in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array. And, I just found that so interesting because you go to church and everybody's dressed in their finest clothes, their finest jewelry, their hairs are all mixed up, French braid, this braid, that braid, twisted up and about and down and out, and it's just crazy. But now verse 10, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. So God's not looking at you and how you're dressed, because He says to come as you are. I dress like this every day. So when I go to church, I dress like this. I dress every single day the way I want God to see me. This is me. I'm not trying to, for me to go to church all dressed up and fancy, trying to look like a queen or something, that means something I'm not. So unless you dress the way you dress at church with all your finest clothes and all your finest jewelry, unless you dress that humbly every single day of the week, then don't be dressed like that in church. Because it tells you strictly right here that you are not to be dressed in fancy clothes. It's not about that with God. So let it go, let God. All right. Also calling down as far as behavior, it tells you in verse 11, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, which I found really interesting. And I'm going to make sure I do a study on as far as women in church. Okay? Because it goes on to as far as teaching and how women are supposed to be. And this is the New Testament, which most teachings are on nowadays. So I'm kind of up and stir with that. And, it's great. I'm going to still do some more studies on as far as how women are supposed to be. It's getting warm already. So I just want to tell you that, walking the path is actually so much more fun because as long as you seek God diligently each and every single day, He's going to help you. He's going to make sure you get everything you want, everything your heart desires. But it has to be, everything that you do has to be in His glory, not yours. You can't be selfish and say, well, Lord, I want this. Okay, thank you. See ya. Doesn't work that way. Seek the Lord. Thank Him. And send us with the prayer. Our gracious, beloved, wonderful Father in heaven, I want to thank you for each and every day that you give me. I want to thank you for putting up with me and adopting me and loving me unconditionally and never letting me go. And I know sometimes that I want to let you go and run away sometimes, and you've never given up on me. You allow me to come back each and every time that I fall and I fail. And I think I can make it without you. And you show me such unconditional love and show me the right way to go. And I pray for those who need your help. May you shine your wonderful light through them. And may they all come to you, Christ. And may we all come to your kingdom in heaven all together. and work together as your beloved children. And I pray this in the name of Jesus. Amen and amen. And I want you to come back next week and see what else the wonderful scriptures entail for us to live. Thank you, and God bless you.